Dracula, the book by Bram Stoker, one of my favorite books and later became a movie in the late 1930s. Yet this story over the decades and centuries has been one of my stories that has wowed cultures and was giving a different perspective of how we think about vampirism in this modern era. This has been one of my favorite stories because when I first watched the movie by Francis Ford Coppola in the year of 2001, I fell in love with the character in the movie, how it had somewhat sympathy for people, and how he wanted to rule the world in his own dark perspective of change, and to drink people's blood and live forever. I guess I fell in love with the concept of having the opportunity to live forever as long as, of course, you follow the rules of a vampire. He was no vampire, but showed gruesome throughout his punishments through his own people in battles. He became famous for his punishment tactics, and later the story spread throughout the decades and eras that later a book was written by Bram Stoker, Dracula. The main story about Dracula is him traveling to London from Pennsylvania in the late 1800s. He arrived in London with the attempt of drinking of people's blood. Through the story, the characters in the book managed to stop throughout the sequence of suspense, denouement, and lastly, its conclusion. And we're going to talk about Dracula, the technology impact it has gone through video games, movies, styles. As you can see, we have a gothic style and also a makeup style, and video games, and has gone through a lot of movies. There's probably over 60 types of different Dracula movies, and not to mention to other countries. It has spread all over the world, and the cultures are very different because I'm gonna show you in the next slide. So the next slide we have books that are based on vampirism and based on actually Dracula as well, and Twilight by Stephanie Myers. And some people, as I said before in the last slide, have gone to this extent where they transformed themselves through a journey to become a vampire lady. So this is really interesting how people have can go through that, all the way through that extent. As you can see, since Dracula has been around for such a long time, Dracula has been a projection arising from a part of our mind that collects ideas and memories. With this dark story, it has given us the idea to look at our dark story. Dracula is a symbol of what we can be in this era. What draws people in this century is from the story, culture, such as you see, like the Mexican vampire lady fell in love with the vampirism because of the concept it has and the gothic it brings to life. It has gained recognition throughout the people that want to be different. The story has spread into so many that I can only name a few. And there has been hundreds of movies produced with the name Dracula or any type of vampire movie because of the book and the story written behind it. Thank you very much for watching my video and have a wonderful day.